asked if I wanted anything, and I'm like, the only thing I want is the dill. There was a ton of dill in there, and I was like, just I'd like to keep some of the dill, but other than that, help yourselves, because I'm gonna mow it down. Yeah. There was a lot of mustard greens. I think that they had left for overwintered and stuff like that. And at the time, right in the beginning, I didn't know what they were. They looked like weeds. Yeah. Because a lot of them were pretty close to flowering. Yeah. Then. So in any case, once I figured it out, I took some of it home with me. Yeah. It was quite yummy. But because of that, it started conversations, and we were able to interact. And one thing that was nice is the little gal next to me, if I wasn't there, she would water my garden, and vice versa. Yeah. Although most of the other folks were there every single solitary day, so there wasn't much that I could do for them. Okay.
Wow. And so the social atmosphere, can you describe that a bit?
Oh, it was lovely. Yeah. Yeah, no, they were sweet people. Yeah. I got the feeling that many of them were indigent, and it was a primary source of food for them, which was lovely. Yeah. But it's also fascinating to see the different gardening styles. I do square foot gardening, and everybody thought that was the strangest thing they'd ever seen. Okay. Which was fun for me to explain that that's how I had learned how to garden. And for them to ask, like, the flowers and things that I put in for pest control, as well as to make salves and stuff like that with, they couldn't quite figure that piece out. So you eat the flowers? Yeah. That kind of thing. So that part was fun. Yeah. But is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, sure. Just
anything. If there was one thing that I really, really enjoyed was the interaction and being able to see different gardening styles for different nationalities even. Yeah, that's amazing. It was fascinating.
And were there social events like work days or potlucks in your garden?
I think there were two or three, but I didn't hear about them in time. Occasionally I would show up and there would be, a flag in my garden or something like that somebody else put in there, for me, which I thought was sweet. But I didn't find out about them before they were already done and gone. Okay.
And were there
certainly not a potluck. Okay. I think there was a competition between gardens or between our garden and other gardens, but I'm sorry, I don't know the details.
Mm-hmm. Great. And were there children or youth around the garden that you spent time with?
Yeah. Oh, that I spent time with? Mm-hmm. No. Okay. But there were plenty of kids.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And did you make any new friends from the garden?
Well, briefly. Yeah. That one gentleman, Arturo, was adorable. Mm-hmm. I absolutely adored him. Yeah. But and we had, like I said, we'd meet and go for breakfast, twice if I remember correctly. I took him to Home Depot once because he doesn't drive, that kind of thing. Okay. But when I stopped with the garden, we stopped. Okay.
And during your time gardening last summer, did you involve your friends or family in the garden?
No. Okay. And other than just talking about it.
Yeah.
Pictures,
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And how do they react to the pictures and you talking about it?
Oh, they thought it was great. They thought it was a fun experience.
Okay. And do you believe that gardening has impacted other people in your family or people close to you?
The garden that I did impacted them, other than conversation, I would say no.
Okay. And you mentioned doing the square foot gardening. I'm curious how you learned how to garden.
Book.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What is his name? Mel something or another. It was way back in the day. Okay. There was a book called Square Foot Gardening, and it interested me as far as, a way to learn about gardening. And sure enough, it's a great way to garden.
Excellent. And how long ago did you get the book and start practicing that?
Oh, mercy.
Yeah.
No, that's not a new thing.
Okay.
I would say 20 years ago.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. And was there anyone that helped you out in gardening or taught you about it, or what did you teach yourself mostly?
For the most part, self-taught. Yeah. My parents had, we had a garden for a couple of years when I was growing up, but hindsight being what it is, my parents had no idea what they were doing.
Right.
It was fun. But,
Yeah.
Mainly as a child because I could play in the dirt and stuff like that. But
yeah.
In general, no, they had no idea what was going on.
Okay. And is there anything that you didn't know that would have been helpful to you last summer?
Just accessing the water would have been nice. Mm-hmm. A little more information about how to go about that would have been helpful.
Okay, and you mentioned there wasn't a lot of support. Is there anything else that would have been helpful to you besides the water?
Just a little more engagement with the folks that the head of the garden. Okay. It would have been nice to have had a little more communication or be able to meet up with them or something of that sort.
Okay.
They were very they were very nice when I met them.
Yeah.
But I think they might have been a little overwhelmed.
Okay.
Had a bit off a little more than they could chew, as far as time.
Right. Okay. And what do you think that would have provided if you had had more access to them or communication?
An understanding of the garden itself, and I would have loved to have participated in some of the events.
Yeah.
But by the time, they just came and went with my not knowing they were going to happen.
Right. Okay. We talked a bit about the water. Were there things that made it hard for you to garden, either difficulties in the garden or anything that made it challenging to get to the garden?
Nothing to get to the garden, other than the fact that it wasn't in my backyard,
Yeah.
Because I work full time, and I work 10-hour shifts, I would go over in the evening, and I also have dogs and do foster care and stuff like that. So I needed to get home to them to take care of them and feed them and get my own dinner and get to bed so that I could get up and start all over kind of thing. But other than that, I don't think so. The biggest thing, I was starting to have some difficulties with anxiety and depression, and that coupled with the sweet souls, at the retirement center that really wanted to just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. It's hard to carry on a conversation when you're trying to garden and they're not also gardening. They're just sitting outside the fence wanting to talk. And it was difficult to feel like I was not ignoring them. I didn't want to be rude, but on the same note, I was like, I'm under a time I really need to get done what I need to get done. Kind of thing. That was, without a doubt, the hardest part. And what eventually had me stop going. Realizing that I'm just, when I stopped going, it was a tremendous relief, as far as time and that sort of thing. Okay. It took a lot of pressure off.
Yeah, okay. You mentioned you stopped going at a certain point. What point in the season was that when that got to be too much?
I'll be honest, it's hard to remember because we got started late in the garden. So we got started late. I would say probably 2 months in.
Okay.
The garden was producing, but just barely. By the time I was just like, I can't keep up with all this.
Right. Okay. And when you were being sort of bombarded with conversation and things like that, what did you do when that happened? Were you able to find a way to work around it? I'm just curious how you tried to manage it when they were...
Well, I won't lie. In the beginning, for a while, I tried to figure out when they might be eating their meals and wouldn't be at the window kind of thing and try to come during those times very quickly. They're adorable. Gosh, it's hard to talk about. They're sweet little retired people. So